How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my channel and welcome to a new series I like to call the Bag series, the Becoming a Good Golfer series. Back in May of last year, I played golf with some friends for the first time, and since then, I have been hooked. I've still only gotten to play a couple times since then, but I really want to get better. I've also really wanted to make some content for a while, so this just felt like the perfect opportunity to document the journey and bring you guys along with me. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. In today's video, we are gonna just go to the driving range to show you guys some shots with my driver and some irons. And then at the end, we'll come back, we'll review the footage, talk about a couple things, and figure out what we need to do moving forward to get better. I'm excited for this new journey. I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. Let's see what happens. Let's see how good of a golfer we can become. Let's go. All right, we're just gonna do like 2 or 3 shots with each club. Show you guys my swing from face on and then behind me. We're gonna start with pitching wedge. You can see how banged up and scratched it is. Like I said, I use really old clubs that I found in the shed, so, you know, gotta make do with what we got. Okay, not bad. Little draw to the right. Trying to work on coming down, but keeping the club face closed. I think that's a big issue of mine. Oh. Hit the hell out of the ground on that one. Oh, let's do one more. Okay, one more. One more for real. Okay, we went for pitching wedge. We're gonna do a 9-iron now. We'll do like 2 or 3. Like I said, a big issue of mine, I think, is drawing it to the right. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly that problem is. I don't know if it's opening the club face. I don't know if it's opening up too soon, but y'all can let me know. Usually the lower the number gets, the worse my shots get. So my pitching wedge, my 9 are usually okay. But once we get up to like the 5 and the 3, not great. Okay, that was really straight actually. Okay. Kind of chunked that one, not a lot of distance, but it went straight. Moving to our 7-iron now. This is where things might get a little dicey. Okay. Bit of a draw to the right on that one. I'm trying to like almost counteract it. Instead of lining my club up straight, I'm countering it just a little bit, just a hair. Okay, not bad. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of separation in my distances right now. Like it feels like my pitching wedge and my 7 are almost going the same distance. And I don't know if that's just because of technique, what it is, but it feels like I should have a little bit more separation between the clubs. Right now I'm not, but we're hitting a little straight, which is nice. I'd rather hit straight than hit far. Last one with the 7, let's make it a good one. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Tried to put a little more power in it, didn't pay off. We go to our 5 now. Not bad. Bit of a draw to the right still. Maybe I need to come over the top a little more instead of a little more over. Let's give it a whirl. Nope. Nope. Okay, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm coming too over the top. worse it gets usually. Got our 3 now. What are these called? JL, JC. What letter is that? JE? Sneed? That's the club brand if y'all are wondering. Like I said, they're old. Eventually we'll get some new clubs down the line. We'll get some cavity backs to help us out some, but for now. Yeah, something about the 3. Least favorite club in the bag for sure, but 3 is not good whatsoever. The 3 is bad, boys. The 3 is bad. Finish it off with a couple driver shots. This used to be my best club, kind of, sort of ish. Not so much anymore, but we'll see. Very inconsistent for sure. Not necessarily a slice, but definitely a big draw to the right. Oh. Oh. Hit that tree right towards those people. Could have killed somebody. Ooh. Okay. Very much hit the heel of the club on that one. Inside of the left foot. Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible. We'll do a couple more. Had a couple go straight. Not bad. That one went right for sure. Okay, one more. I'll carry it a bit left. Thank goodness those guys aren't over there because I would have drilled them. Okay. To the right, that one. Okay. Something was going right. No, actually everything's going right. On this one, I'm gonna focus on keeping my knuckles down. Knuckles aimed at the floor in a sense. Okay. That was pretty sure. We'll take that. Hey, it's me again. I just wanted to go over a couple things that I learned from like this session, watching it back, and then also I had posted a TikTok of my swing, gotten some feedback from people that I wanted to share. Which, by the way, if you don't follow me on TikTok, feel free to do that. It's the same as my YouTube. Garrett's Gone. Going to be posting more short form golf videos on there. So yeah, let's go over some stuff real quick. First thing, let me tell you guys, if you're new to golf and looking to get better and whatnot, I really highly recommend recording yourself because it's a different thing when you feel like what you're doing versus what you can see what you're doing. I mean, it's very helpful to see yourself from different angles and kind of see what adjustments you need to make, what tweaks, you know what I mean? Just get a visual for what you're doing and see like where you could improve. I highly recommend it. So a couple things, like I said, I learned from this and from TikTok. Firstly is my lead knee collapses in whenever I am swinging, which I think is kind of throwing me off balance, making me lose a little bit of my power too. So that's definitely something I need to work on for sure. Things that I heard from people on TikTok was, looks like you're trying to sweep your irons instead of compressing the ball. That is probably very true because this is something new that I learned. I never knew that the divot, like you make contact with the ball and then divot. Like I said, guys, I'm very new to golf, so that might sound stupid for some people, but I'm new, okay, so bear with me. When you're swinging your driver, you kind of angle your body and you're swinging up on the ball to launch it. And in a way, I don't think I was so much angling myself looking back at the footage, but I can definitely see how I would be swinging up on the ball. Instead of compressing and swinging down on the ball and letting the loft of the club do the work, I was kind of more sweeping up. So definitely something to work on for sure. Another comment I got on TikTok was, you're leaning more on your back foot, which is making you extend your club face too early. Try a 70-30 weight distribution, 70 on your front leg. The goal is to dig your wedge behind the ball for a straight release. Very true. This is, again, something I never knew. I was kind of just standing 50-50, not really thinking too much about my weight distribution, but leaning a little more on my front foot would kind of like essentially make me have to dig the club behind the ball, on top of the ball, versus swinging up on it. Another one, which in my head I thought I was doing, but a comment I got was to adjust my stance to have the ball more forward depending on the club. Like, for example, my 3-iron and my ball, moving it more forward into my stance. In my head, I thought I was doing. But when you go back and you look at the footage, I was not doing it nearly as much as I was supposed to. They say when you're driving, the ball should be lined up with like your big toe or the inside of your heel if you kind of have an outward foot angle. I think with my driver, I was close, but like with my 3-iron, 4-iron, like the higher irons, I was not moving it nearly enough forward at all. Somebody even sent me a little diagram. You can't really see it, but it's a diagram. Somebody else just said, look up how to close your hands at impact, which is fair. I think I talked about that in the video, learning to do it. But also back to that 70-30 distribution, and the guy was saying I'm extending my club face too early. It makes so much sense why my pitching wedge, my 9-iron and stuff, they were flying relatively straight, but then the lower the number got, the worse my shot was getting. It's because with my pitching wedge and stuff, with having the ball in the middle, I was able to get it closed and get under the ball and hit it flat and flush, versus once the lower the club number got, because I wasn't moving the ball far enough, I was making contact with it before I was able to close it all the way. So instead of hitting it flush and flat, I was still kind of in the process of turning that club in. So I'm hitting it with an angle, which makes so much sense as to why I'm slicing and drawing everything to the right, especially with my driver. I also got some other super helpful comments from Chloe. She said, as a pro golfer, you just need to be better. Hope this helps. Thank you for that, Chloe. Ali said, perhaps the ooh and deep sigh after each swing is not helping your case. Fair and noted. Thank you guys so much for that very helpful advice. But yeah, so that's just a couple things I realized I need to work on. 70-30 weight distribution, moving the ball to the proper place in the stance, stopping my lead knee from caving in whenever I'm in my backswing, and getting the club face shut. I think once we can get those things kind of figured out, we'll be a lot more consistent, and then we can start focusing a little more on power and those kinds of things. So I know this was kind of a slower video, but I hope you still enjoyed. In the next one, we're going to actually go play around. We'll do either 9 holes or 18. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of getting my setup figured out as far as like my camera, a microphone and all that stuff. So just bear with me as I figure everything out. I do have a mic for next video. I don't know how great it is, but we'll see. But yeah, so make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.